Welcome to my tarot card reading for March 2019, Sagittarius, and this is Manu Tarot. Let's start immediately with your reading. We have Ochum, Yemaya, and the Moon. We have the King of Wands, the Sun, Pluto, Leo. We have the Tower, Mars, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aries, and the rest of the reading, okay, that is right here. Okay, before I start, let me concentrate with a group of people that will understand what I'm going to say. Okay, more or less, this is what it feels like to me. We have an energy kind of similar to Obara, Osa, Odi, Ogunda, Ejio Oko, Irosum. Okay, more or less around that. For those that understand, I would say that here the ones talking would be Nana, Otin, Korikoto, Orishas Oko, Chango, Batala, Oshun, among others. Okay, with that in mind, let's keep going. This month, my dear Sagittarius, is a month for analysis. Is analyze, reanalyze, think, rethink. It's a time of letting go. It's a time where a desire to move on, get out of a situation that you yourself put on. You want to liberate yourself from there and move on. You want to get rid of that situation, whatever it is. Okay, let me see what else. It's a time of growth as well. The best way I can describe this type of growth, of this type of energy that the tarot cards are talking about, is like a labor, a woman in labor. There's a new life, of course, and everything is nice, everything is great, everyone's going to celebrate that there's a new life coming. But before the new life emerges, there is going to be contractions, pain, okay? It's like the churning of the seas, okay? And then later on, the new life emerges, okay? So it gives you an idea what is the energy that is bringing forward this month. With that in mind, let's analyze the weeks of every of the month, every week of the month. The first week of the month is where your attention is focused on finding the solution for a situation that you got into. It could be a loan, whatever it is. You got into a situation, you want to free yourself from that responsibility, from that situation, whatever it is, you want to free yourself. Okay? You will be able to make it. Now, you have to remember that you always need to connect with a higher power, we can call it like that. Keep always that in mind. The solution is always in front of you, my dear Sagittarius. By the second week of the month, there's a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis. This is a time for just stay there, analyze, think. It's not a time for action. This month is not for action. It's not for being impulsive as well. Okay? You have to analyze, and this second week is emphasizing that. It's a time for non-action. It's just think, analyze. Okay? Highly probable this situation has triggered this other one, and it's very probable. By the third week, the tarot cards are letting you know that you should be very careful, especially with any new responsibilities, any contracts, anything new that you're going to start, new project, new house, new loans, whatever it is. Be very careful of what you are attaching to, of the responsibilities. Before you sign, before you say yes, always think, always analyze. Okay? Before doing anything. Okay? This is a week where you should Be careful with alcohol consumption, use of drugs, gambling. You should be very careful with anything like that as well. Okay, be very careful. Why? Because here, the 4th week of March, we have failure, if we can call it like that. And then you have to remember that we have here the Tower, and then we have these 3. And you have to remember that if you sign a contract for someone else, for example, you gave your signature, you might start seeing the results of doing that by the end of the month. Okay? If you were under the influence of alcohol or any drugs, you might start seeing the results of those actions during this week. Okay? Okay? It's letting us know that you're going to be grieving the loss of something. It could be of freedom. You could be grieving, we have the devil here. You might be grieving the loss of freedom. You might be grieving that you had sex without protection. You might be grieving that. You might be grieving that you had alcohol and you drove, and now you're seeing the results of that careless action. Okay, I'm giving you a more or less idea. The same thing like health-wise. You probably decided to start a new treatment, and now you're seeing that it wasn't the smart move. So I would be very careful, my dear Sagittarius. The tarot cards are saying also that during this week, especially this last week, it is a time for letting go. Okay, it's a time to let go. You have to be aware that if you want to grow, you want to expand, you have to let go of whatever it is that is holding you back, whatever it is that is not working, whatever it is that brings an energy that is not the type of energy that you want around yourself. Okay? And that's all I have for warnings and advice for March 2019, Sagittarius. Until the next one.